Hey, so today's review is going to be on Normal People by Sally Rooney, and this book I picked up maybe over a year ago now in a charity shop, and I picked it up because when this book first came out, there was, I feel, loads of hype around it. It says it was winner of the 2018 Costa Novel Awards, and it said the million copy bestseller. And I remember a lot of people praising it and saying that it was a really good read, and I feel like she's quite a well-known author now. She's had a few other books out since, and I've even heard noise about them making this into a Netflix TV show, or I don't know if it's going to be a film or a series, but yeah, they're doing something with Netflix with this book. But yeah, it's just kind of been sat on my shelves for quite a while now, because it's not normally the kind of book I'd pick up. I didn't really know a whole lot about it, other than it's centered around a relationship, a slightly complicated relationship, and people liked it, and that's pretty much all I knew about it. So yeah, I picked it up, saw it in the charity shop. I think it was in like £1 or something, so I was like, I'm going to give that a go. Got it. And I am glad I read it, because it's one of those books where it had so much hype around it. I think I always would have wondered whether I would have liked it or not. And I would say when I first started reading this novel, it did start off strong. When I first read it, I was like, okay, the writing style was nice and simple. It was quite a quick read. I found it, yeah, like quite an easy book to read, and I was like, okay, this is going to start off strong. You follow Connell and Marianne, sorry, and they have this weird relationship. It starts off with them as teenagers, and then it follows them up into their adult life, and they basically have a kind of situationship where they are in and out each other's lives, and they kind of have this, yeah, it just centres around their relationship of being like friends with benefits, both of them having feelings but not really expressing their feelings towards each other, both of them having complicated relationships outside of each other, and then trying to mesh their relationships with other people and with each other. If you can hear background noise, by the way, it's my baby. So yeah, it's kind of one of those books where it's very much character driven over plot. Really nothing happens in the plot, like from start to finish you're reading it, and it is purely based on the characters, yeah, just everyday normal life, and just about their relationship and how they get in and out of each other. And like I said, I enjoyed it to begin with. It started off quite strong. I was like, okay, I can kind of see why people like this. The characters are quite interesting. I like the female character more. Marianne is she's a very like straight speaking forward person, but she doesn't always convey her feelings, and she kind of feels like she doesn't really fit in with society. And when they're children, she's kind of the outcast at school, and he's the popular kid. And then as they get older in college and they meet back up, the roles have swapped. He's now kind of the outsider, because they're no longer in the small town he grew up in, and she's become the popular kid. But I feel like her character doesn't really change all that much. She's still very much who she is. People just seem to accept her a little bit more as an adult, and she almost reads as autistic to me. Just some of the way her reactions are almost read as autistic. And the guy in this, to be honest, I didn't really like him. He was kind of annoying. He was a little bit pathetic and very mopey, and he got on my nerves a little bit, which I kind of feel like maybe his character was supposed to. But yeah, I think for me, it's weird. I either have to like if there's no plot, I have to be super into the characters, and if I'm not into the characters, then it has to be a really strong plot. And it just kind of fell flat a little bit on both. Like, the characters were interesting, like I said, the beginning kept me really gripped, but then yeah, as it went on and on and on, I just got a little bit frustrated with the characters, and it just got a little bit too dull, like just too much of nothing happened, if that makes sense, to where I got a little bit bored. And I did push myself to finish it because it isn't that, you know, the book's not that big. I did want to see if things would kind of resolve with the ending, but the ending is kind of a nothing ending as well. Like I said, it's one of those books where nothing really happens. It's basically like a character study on two different characters. So yeah, I do see why people like it, but I just feel like it just felt a little bit flat for me. I would go in the middle. I would say this is probably like a 2 or 3 star for me. It's definitely started off as a strong 3 to 4 star, but then as it got middle and end was definitely like, the end was definitely a 2, because I was definitely pushing myself to read it. So yeah, overall it's a bit of a meh kind of read for me. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad I read it because there was so much hype around it when it first came out. I think if I hadn't read it, I would have always wondered if I had, you know, if it's the type of book that I would enjoy. But I don't think I'm really going to bother with anything else by this author, and I don't think I'm going to bother with the Netflix movie or show, whatever they're making out of it, because I feel like, I don't even know how they would even do that. It would be very much a drama, like a teen drama kind of a show, and I'm not really into that. There's a lot of angst in this book, mainly coming from the male character. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. It was just kind of middle of the road. I did kind of see that on a lot of the Goodreads reviews. People either really, really loved it. I mean, obviously millions of people loved it because it was a bestseller. Or it kind of went the route of people were like, basically the same opinion as me. Like, nothing happened. It was really boring. I did see a few people DNF it saying they just got too bored. So yeah, if you're not really into like character study kind of books, then really this definitely isn't going to be for you, because you definitely will find it boring. But yeah, middle of the road for me. Yeah, I'd probably say 2 or 3 star. I'll give it a 3. But yeah, not a whole lot to say, because like I said, there wasn't really a plot, so there's not really a lot to talk about with this book. And to be honest, the characters did get a little bit dull towards the end, and it was a bit repetitive. There was no growth in the book. You know, they start off one way, and then as they get into college, you're like, okay, they're both completely different people. You're going to see different sides to them, but you didn't really. They were just kind of the same characters all the way through, and they didn't really learn anything from their mistakes, which was a bit frustrating. They just kind of went round and round in circles, which I guess is also kind of realistic for some people's relationships. You get kind of stuck in this loop with people, don't you? And then you end up going, you know, just repeating the same things over and over again. And it's not going to change until somebody changes or walks away. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So I guess a little bit realistic, but yeah, it was okay. But I think this is definitely going to go in my pile of books to give away, because it's not something I'm ever going to reread. So yeah, a summary of my book experience with this book. Glad I read it, but not going to reread. So going in the unhaul pile. But yeah, that's my thoughts. If you have any other thoughts that differ from me, then, or any questions, then please leave them in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye guys.